Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We called a press conference to announce the arrest of the individual whom we have been searching for over the last couple of days, whom we believe brought in a firearm into 201 Poplar. But before we get into some of those details, I first want to start with playing the initial social media video that was brought to our attention, and then secondly, we'll play the security footage from 201 Poplar. So we'll start there. And what you're seeing now is the security footage from 201 Poplar. And you are seeing a security officer with intercom security scrutinize this individual as he is coming through the security checkpoint. All right. So on June 25th, 2025, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office began actively investigating a video circulating on social media that claimed to depict a man brandishing what appears to be a firearm inside of the Shelby County Criminal Justice Complex. His reckless actions were flagrant violations of the law and endangered every person within the building and the community at large. After reviewing cell phone footage that was posted online, as well as reviewing the security cameras within CJC, yesterday at about 6:45 p.m., detectives, with the help of the community, were able to identify this person, 23-year-old Dedrick Patterson. Last night, an arrest warrant was issued at 9:38 p.m., and at approximately 11 p.m., detectives, along with our patrol division and the fugitive apprehension team, executed a search warrant in the 3000 block of Bannockbarn Road in Memphis. During the execution of the warrant, detectives were able to locate evidence associated with the case. Around the same time, at 12:06 a.m., the suspect turned himself in at 201 Poplar, and he has been taken into custody and booked in the Shelby County Jail. Dedrick Patterson is charged with the following: carrying weapons during judicial proceedings, possession of a contraband in a penal institution, and unlawful possession of a machine gun. Additional charges may be forthcoming for individuals related to this case. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office remains committed to safeguarding our community. We will employ every legal resource and enforcement measure necessary to deter this type of behavior. The safety of our public and public officials is our top priority. Our internal investigation into how an individual was able to bypass security with a firearm in a criminal justice complex is ongoing. I'll offer a few more comments before I take questions, but I do want to make sure I start with thanking the detectives who have literally worked around the clock since this social media video was first brought to our attention. We have literally assigned detectives as well as fugitive investigators to chase down any lead that would lead us to the identity of this individual. Part of our internal investigation is, I think, what we all want to know. How did this happen? How could a weapon bypass security and enter the building? Those are questions that we still have. And those are meetings that we will schedule and that we have had already at 201 Poplar with our security vendor for the building. But then on the other side of that, how do we prevent this from happening again? Obviously, we know this individual presented himself at the security checkpoint inside of a wheelchair. And how we scrutinize individuals in a wheelchair is going to be conversations that we're going to have next week and the weeks to come. We've already reached out to some other organizations to see exactly how they deal with individuals who present in a wheelchair, such as the airport, TSA, federal buildings. We want to know what the best practices are, because we certainly want to make sure that nothing like this happens again. I can tell you that the impact of this is still ongoing. As recently as this morning, I had a judge to stop me with questions about safety and security within 201 Poplar, but then not only 201 Poplar, the other courthouses in which we have a responsibility to protect. We have employees who consider 201 Poplar their work home. They call it their home away from home. They report to work every single day. These employees, some did not want to report to work Friday because they wanted to know about their safety and security. And I understand that. And they deserve to work in an environment where they feel safe. So we understand the anxiousness, we understand the nervousness, we understand the fear that something like this brings on. And this was something that was completely unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. The climate in which we live in today, we know that elected officials at the national level and at the local level face serious threats. And when situations like this happens, it makes it very difficult for these members of the judiciary system to show up and do their job effectively without having to be concerned and worried about their safety. And so I can tell you from the sheriff's office perspective, we're going to do everything that we can to prevent something like this from ever happening again. We know that it's going to take a little bit of time to restore a sense of safety for the building, for those who work and those who patronize the building. We understand that. And last week, we added additional deputies to the building to make sure that the folks who work inside 201 Poplar understand that this is a true priority of the sheriff's office. And that visibility will continue in the days and the weeks ahead. And so we appreciate the community that stepped forward and said, I know who that person is. And it made us, it really equipped us with the ability to get this individual off the street as quickly as we were able to. In fact, when I heard at midnight when my phone went off that we had this individual identified and in custody, I actually got excited. I was happy. And I hope that this sends a message to anyone else who would consider doing something like this, that the sheriff's office would turn over every stone to find out who you are, and we would knock on your door at any hour to put you in jail. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is something that will not be tolerated. 201 Poplar is a place that hundreds of people report to work, and we're going to make sure they report to work with a sense of safety. And with that, I'll take your questions.